We are live. Terry, hi. Happy Friday.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Kelly. How are you?
I am good. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. And thank you, everybody, for being here.
Yes, you guys, thank you. Thank you. Happy Friday to everybody in the chat. We have Annie swishing
Yeah.
through. She's being distracted on Etsy.
Oh, Annie sent me a link to Etsy, and I didn't. Were your cards on there, Annie? I couldn't find them. So let me know. Let me know what that's all about.
That would be a great idea. I don't know if they are, but I do have the link, the show that we're going to be doing December 4th. I do have the link for her cards on there, but that would be a great idea to have them on Etsy.
Yeah, you should definitely get them on there before we do that show. Hi, Marie.
Hi, Marie. Hello.
What a pretty picture.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Barbara is here. Hello, Barbara. Heart and love. I love that, Barbara.
Yeah, that's beautiful, Barbara.
And Annie says she's doing research and snacking. That's our sister, snacking, and I am all about the snacks, and I love doing research too.
Yeah, so we had the big food talk before we went on today.
We were backstage. We were back there talking about food.
Pizza and popcorn, the two P's.
I could live on them. Both of them, pizza and popcorn.
Yeah.
I love them.
They're
CJ, hello. Thank you for being here. You guys, thank you for sharing your time with us. Janet, hello. Happy Friday. And we have Sarah is here. Sarah, hello.
Oh, hi, Sarah Broyle.
A magical day, everybody. Yes.
Yeah, that's such a beautiful picture.
And I know I saw Barbara Berkman is here. Blessings, everyone lurking and listening.
Yay.
Hi, Barbara. Thank you for being here.
Oh my gosh. A lot of OGs coming in. Mary Starshine and Barbara and Indigo Child. Millie.
Yes, Anja, Millie, Marine.
Yeah.
I'm far behind you guys. Mary Starshine, hello. Lisa Davies, hello. Peace, please. I love that. I love that. Hello, Gina. Hello. Okay, you guys, I'm trying to get caught up here. Edward, hello. Thank you for being here. Happy Friday, Terry and Kelly, and all in chat. Yeah, Terry, you're ahead of me. Yep. Indigo Child, hello, beautiful. So Terry and I today are going to be talking about past lives and soul contracts. And Jax, hello. Thank you for being here. I love your picture. Did I miss anybody? KK is here. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's so many of you. Thank you for being here. We haven't seen you in so long. Yeah. I would love I will I don't think we're going to be taking any readings today because we do have a lot of information to share with everybody, probably enough to do another show. And so I don't think we'll be taking any questions today. Paul Freed, hello, Terry, Kelly, I made it. He's going to see Sting tonight.
I know. I love that. that. He's one of my all-time favorites.
Mine too.
Yeah, saw him.
Mine too.
Yeah, a few years ago, and I wore my police T-shirt. I love that T-shirt.
I would love. Paul, where are you seeing him at? What state? What state are you in now?
I think it's in Pennsylvania.
Oh,
hi, Mo. Yeah.
Linda Bishop, hello. Gary, hello. Oh my gosh. You guys, thank you. Thank you. Oh, here's Mo. Thank you for being here.
Oh, hey Mo. Yeah, that was a fun one. With I'm doing those galactic shows with Dr. Gale.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That are amazing.
they're fun to do. So she's very knowledgeable.
Leona, hello. Oh, yep, you're right, Terry. Yep. He's in Wind Creek, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Say that 5 times.
Yep. I had to say it really slow.
You did great. That was incredible.
So, past lives and soul contracts. Just to get us going, I have jotted down our physical body changes every time we come in and out of lives, but our soul always our soul stays with us from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. And the reason we have the past lives is for soul growth. And just we come in to gather wisdom and then also mainly to grow and further our knowledge. And Terry and I were talking backstage that I think we have some similarities in past lifetimes in things that we came into this lifetime to accomplish.
Yeah. same aches and pains and joys.
So. Yeah. What do you have? What do you have for us, Terry?
Well, let me go to my notes here. I'll try not to talk too much. So there's a lot of new studies right now on epigenetics and how the body remembers energy stored in muscles and brain. The body's not just flesh, it's also a recording instrument. Trauma, joy, fear, love are written in the nervous system and held in the muscles as tension, inflammation, and posture patterns, and even cellular memory. The vagus nerve and limbic brain store emotional imprints. And this is a quote by Carl Jung: until you make unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. So a lot of times I think we say, oh, I must have had bad karma in another life, or I must have done this. But a lot of times it's just something that we have to wake up to. Mm-hmm. We think that we're reacting to the moment, but we're often reacting to the past inside our bodies. And it's stored, interestingly enough, as crystalline energy. That scientists are just finding this out. This is brand new. The auric field, the body memories, extends beyond the body, like 3 to 15 feet. And if you want to, you can grow it out even farther than that, I believe. The auric field is a living archive, a soft file of everything we've experienced. Stored energy becomes patterns, attraction and aversion, fear of abandonment. Why does this keep happening to me? The auric field holds repeating scripts. Deepak says the body is a process, not a thing. You're renewing yourself every second. And then ancestral imprints, of course, we hold those in our epigenetics. If our parents were in the Holocaust or a war, or ancestors, we really hold that. And then past lives and future lives add to it, and energy doesn't disappear, it reincarnates. Lessons unfinished return, gifts return too. Déjà vu, natural gifts, phobias, deep loves, these are breadcrumbs from other lives. Past lives are unfinished books. Future lives are books already waiting for us to open. Carl Jung said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are.
I love that.
That was
I love that. And that deja vu, that really is really something. I mean, I know I've experienced that several times where I've been at a place and it's just like, you've been there before. And in another way to that I find that really helps me to kind of discover past lives too is my dreams. My dreams will they'll give you little tidbits here here and there. And emotional triggers are another one that if we find that we're really being triggered by something, it could be this lifetime too, but it could be also, from a past lifetime. And I know you feel this too, and I know I and probably many of us do, even in the chat. If you're called to a certain place, there's reasonings for that. It's either to go back and relive something or do something over, or it's because sometimes it could be just the familiar. It's familiar. We're gonna say that it's good because it's familiar. And I know, like going to Mexico, the first time we went to Mexico in the 90s, we got off the plane and I looked at my husband and I said, "Oh, I'm home," because it really felt like home. And so I think, a lot of times if you do have a calling to a certain place, here while you're here, it could very well be from another past life, but it could be a soul contract too. It could be that you're needing to go to that place to finish some business too.
Yeah. It's interesting. So a lot of times when I go to England and other parts of Europe, I see people, and when I look at them, I can see them dressed in like past lives clothing. Right? Now, how did that affect you in Mexico? Were you able to look at people and think, I remember when everybody dressed in more traditional costume or not costume, but clothing?
No, not so much. But when we went to like Chichen Itza and into like more of the, the jungle area, that really felt like home. And in Tulum, that area right in there, it was just, it's like, I know I've been on this land and lived it before.
Yeah. It's amazing because last time I went to Tulum, you could still go inside those little pyramids. Well, they're little now because they've been worn down and earth is around them, but you could still go inside them. And now I think they've closed that off, as they should, so they can be preserved. But it was such a joy, and it was like, you kind of got quiet, like you knew you were in a sacred space.
Right. Yeah. And those pyramids, same. When we were there, we were able to walk up all those steps. I mean, I don't even know how many steps there were going up to the pyramid. We were able to walk up all of them too, and go into all those little chambers and those little those really little narrow places, where you went up in the pyramid. I remember taking pictures, and that obviously it was back in the 90s, but it would be fun to go back and look and see if a person caught anything in those pictures.
Right. Yeah. Because in Tulum, I think when I talked to the fellow that was our guide there, he said that they were only about 3 feet tall. A lot of the people back then,
which makes sense, right? Because those stairways were so narrow, and they were. I mean, you had to like bend down.
I have a big foot.
to go up.
Yeah.
Anja says, Kelly, that's how Rome felt to me in the depths of my soul. Yeah.
Anya, I love that.
You just know.
Yeah.
Barbara says, I felt home visiting Norway.
See, Barbara, I just talked to somebody else from Norway yesterday too, and I feel the same. I feel like I'm just yearning to go there. Yeah.
Me too. I really want to go to Norway too. Yep. That is on my bucket list. Kauai felt like home to me. Grandmother place.
100%, Annie. Yeah.
The mountains.
Hana. Oh, unbelievable. Yeah. Yeah. There's, and it's interesting when we see places like that, that we go to travel to, and immediately we just feel like we're one of the locals. Like you just feel like,
Right.
and you walk differently, you talk a little differently. And even when people are speaking in a foreign tongue, you know what they're saying. And it's funny because when I've watched things, people that are talking at retreats and things like that in different languages, and I'm just nodding my head like I know, and I kind of get the gist of what they're saying, right? But I have
You do.
no idea. I've never spoken Farsi or that I know of, right? But you're kind of called to all this, and you remember. So it's really interesting to see that. Um, it's also something that we store inside our bodies physically, but also spiritually and energetically. And we're all interconnected too. So that's
Right.
enough. Yeah. And then other times we might have a true aversion to someone. You need to see Ireland. Yeah. Well, you never know, Leona. It might happen. It Things might change. So,
And and it's funny, Leona, because sometimes we come into this life carrying phobias from past lives. And so it could be that you carried a flying phobia from a past life into this life, because there's so many people that come in that are afraid of heights, and they don't know why, but they're afraid of heights or water, like Allie's afraid of fish. It just, that's something that she carried into this life. Or fire, that is one of my phobias, is
uh,
fires.
yeah, yeah. I have a thing about laying on my stomach. And I remember a past life when I had to hide from people and I was kind of crushed on my stomach. And I remember going under the mud, the dirt to hide, and kind of being smothered. That's why one of my other favorite things is to lay on my back. And I remember many lifetimes laying on my back, just floating in water, laying in the fields, looking at the sky, feeling the bison as they run, the thunder of their
Yep.
feet. And it's just
Yeah.
like, you can just know. Um, yeah. So,
Think of me.
oh,
And he doesn't enjoy heights. Pearl necklace. Oh, pearl necklaces. That's interesting. For
wow.
deep
I hope I didn't give
water.
you one, Annie. I love a pearl.
Excuse me. That's
Interesting.
yeah.
That must have been something to do with someone. So, yeah, and a lot of us were burned at the stake, Amy. Thank you for bringing that up
Yes.
for different things. A lot of people here are afraid of deep water. Yeah, I don't have a hard time with water or deep water.
I don't either.
Yeah, yeah, it's not a big deal.
I love water. Actually, I could live on the water. I think I love it so
Yeah,
much.
wow, I could too. And we have lived very close to the water, and that's the thing that I miss the most about not living in Florida or Hawaii is seeing the water all the time. So getting up and walking every morning on the beach.
It's so healing.
It really is. Yeah. Yeah. And being able to walk into anything. Mary says she loves caves. Girl, I don't get me there. I cannot do a cave worth anything.
I I I'm scared to go in them, but the fear comes from the bats.
Uh,
Um, that's but I enjoy them. I love going in them, but it's the bats that freak me out.
yeah. I actually travel in them a lot when I vision, Mary, but I don't physically I've been in quite a few, but just on a tour thing and it's either we're walking and it's all lit up or you're in a little travel thing that you go through. A
Yeah,
thing, a little cart.
little thing. And some of us, and I know for you, Terry, too. You came in with talents. I mean, you came in with spiritual gifts, healing, and and just knowing, right? I mean, you wouldn't have needed really any classes. I mean, you've taken lots, but I don't think I really feel like you came in with so many spiritual gifts, and that too we will carry like some people will just know how to play the piano or how to play a instrument, and they don't know why, and it's typically because they've done it in a past life. So some of those jazz singers that can
Oh,
just really play the horn like it's nobody's business, or even like people with sports, they come in just knowing how to play baseball, football, and are just so good at it.
yeah. I just saw a short, either this morning or last night, with Cher talking to somebody, and she was talking about Jimi Hendrix and meeting him. And she didn't go up to him. He came up to her because everybody else was going up to him. And he was like, "Hi, Cher." And she's like, "Oh, hey, Jimmy." And they spoke for a while. And she said he was so polite and, mild mannered, just really, really kind. But he never had a lesson. He just came in knowing, and they were asking her about that, and she goes, "It just comes. It's a gift from God.
Yeah.
It just comes in." And I do believe that we can all tap into that gift of God as well.
Mhm.
So it's quite easily done. And sometimes I feel like we come back with these gifts apparent to us because we're to use them, but we forget them halfway through, right? Because you're a
Mhm.
teenager and and then
Right.
you're an adult and you're trying to raise your kids and throw food on the table and make money. So we go through these different times in our life, but I feel like a lot of us here are at a time in our life, whether you're young or not as young, but still young, and young at heart, and we're awakening to our gifts. And like you, Kelly, you came in and you know how to heal people, and you know how to work with energy and cut ties and cords. And it's like that's huge. And you created that. Like nobody
Oh,
taught you that. You created that completely. And it's a huge gift to everybody here. So
oh, thank you.
yeah, and it's so important that we share it. So there's a lot of things that we come in with and we forget about, but then we reawaken to them. And I feel like that's just tapping into that energy. Anyway, is anybody
Yeah.
else getting feedback from me? I think I've got a little something going on here.
What was that, Terry?
Oh, I said I think I've got a little something going on here. I had a little feedback there. So sorry about that, you guys. Anyway, am I still here? Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. You're here. Yep. Yep. You are.
Trying to make sure I wasn't had anything on. So the other part of that is a lot of times we think that we're did something bad in our past life, right?
Mhm.
After having a rough life, and it's not usually so. And I feel like a lot of people that are on a very high um, level of consciousness that come in are often go through deep dark shadows, whether it's health related or trauma and abuse related, and not because it's something that's going to hurt us or something that we've done to somebody else in a past life, but something to awaken us.
Yes.
So
Yes.
awakening to our gifts, awakening to consciousness, and it's huge. And I certainly went through a huge amount of trauma, and I felt like that was in a weird way a gift to me. And I'm never saying that trauma is a gift to anybody, but for me, it made me wake up. And each time, and I must need to really wake up. So each time it was like I saw the light, and it got brighter and brighter. And you'll often find that, though you'll find many that come through also, and it's particularly the young people that are coming in right now through shifting veils. I love that you're talking about seeing your grandson, because the young ones that are coming in, they're coming in knowing.
Yes. They really are. They are so beyond our years. It isn't even funny.
Yeah.
Which is really really good. And and I love how you stated that, Terry, that you look you're looking at your trauma as blessings. And you're right. I mean, for some, trauma is just really 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 difficult, but when we can get to a place to look at it where it's it really was a blessing to propel us to get us to where we needed to be. It really can be more of a service, rather than looking at it as a hindrance. A- and I feel too like this lifetime that I came into, I'm trying to overcome abandonment. I think
God, yeah.
in past lifetimes I was really I was abandoned. I was abandoned a lot. And so I know that's something that I'm working through. And kind of how I've discovered it was just emotions and feelings, but really analyzing my dreams. I'm constantly being abandoned in dreams, and it's like, okay, there's a pattern. And just like you talked about, keeping our eyes open for those patterns. What keeps reoccurring in your life that needs you to be looked at. And that could very well be a soul contract that you came in here to finish, to have it dissolve. That and Terry and I were talking when we were going to do the show about contracts and how we felt about it, coming in. Do we feel like contracts are set in stone? And how do you feel about that, Terry?
I feel like we make our own contracts on the other side, and we make them often with people that really love us as entities, right? And that we're very close to in our soul families. And sometimes they can be our greatest antagonists. And then that might be kind of controversial, but somebody that has really hurt you, and then in a lifetime, and then on the other side, you'll find out that they're your son in this lifetime, or your
Yes.
husband or something. And I've seen this play out again and again and again in readings as well. That and so there's still something there to learn, that you're still helping each other with different things. But did that answer that question?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel the same way. I feel like we do make up our contracts on the other side. We bring them into this lifetime, but I feel like at points when I feel like there are points, kind of like exit points that we come into this lifetime too, where if we choose to leave at a time, I do feel like there's points in our contract that we can renegotiate
Oh yeah.
our contracts and say, what, I think I've learned the lesson. And if we hadn't, it's just going to come back again and show us that there's more learning to do. And
Yeah.
I like what you said too about our soul family contracts. I think so many of us, I mean, when you and I have not met in person, but I feel like I've known you forever,
Right.
and there's so many of us here
Oh my
that
God.
it's just we really are like sisters. And that we've walked different paths, in different lives together. And I agree too. I feel like my husband and we have done this over and over. I mean, he's been my husband in many many lives. And I can my kids, I can tell that they've been like my brothers in another life. And so we typically kind of tend to stick together as soul families. And that can be sometimes when we have a yearning to go to a place, or or take a class, or it could be that we need to meet somebody that we made a contract with on the other side. And so whenever you feel that urge to go somewhere or travel someplace or take a class, whatever it may be, it very well could be that, you're going to run into somebody that was, that was supposed to be on your path in this lifetime.
Yeah, I just took this little mini course with Lee Harris. It was great. But he channels the Z's, and he was talking about the way that we look in this lifetime is not for us; it's to attract those that need to be attracted to us. Isn't that profound? So that the way that we look, our persona, is to attract those that are to come into our lives that we've made these contracts with. And so consequently, we'll see people and we'll be like, I want to know them, just
right?
before we even feel their energy. Or we might feel their energy and say, honey, that's it. Yes. You're not coming around here.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want any of that. But so who you're attracted to is really important with that. I also want to say that not only is it ancestral, like all of this, but we change 7 generations back. They say 3 to 7 generations back and forward, the epigenetics physically, and that's not even spiritually. So that's huge, and that's new and information, but potent because, I think Indigenous have always said 7 generations back and forward. But then also, we change the universe as we change spiritually, and as we heal, we change our future selves and our past selves. So, and that field of the Akash is like a frequency. We like to think of it as something physical, and it kind of is. I do believe that I've seen it before, but it's also a frequency like anything else. Like love is frequency, and that going into that, you don't have to travel into inner Earth or another planet that has an Akashic library. It's just a field or a frequency that we can go in and out of, and we can heal the multiverse each time we heal ourselves and one another. That heals. That changes everything for everybody. Yeah. We don't understand how much power we have in this. Huge amount of power.
I don't think we grasp even a little of the power that we have, that we bring in to this, into our lives. And I think many of us, and I'm kind of speaking for myself too, that I really feel like I'm an old soul. I mean, I have done this many times, and I not only am I an old soul, but I enjoy the older generation. I enjoy people that are, I connect better with people that are older than me. And you can tell a lot of times, just even by if you read energy and look at people, you can tell if they're an old soul or not. And then you start talking to them, and the wisdom and the knowledge that they bring, you can also just tell that they're an old soul.
It's so interesting that you say that, because I feel like when people get closer to the end, oftentimes their consciousness changes, and they look at what really matters to them, much like young children, right?
Yeah.
They have joy in little things, not in material things. Bubble or butterfly. And when somebody is closer to their time to walk off the planet or walk off this 3D, it changes their outlook completely. For a long time, I was really drawn or attracting people that had terminal illness, that were aging out of their physical forms, and there was a tenderness in their heart that is the most beautiful thing that I've ever seen in my life. And it's just like an infant. And it was just such a beautiful gift that I got to meet these people. And I was like, wow, what it is that's going on here? I had to kind of look at it. Like, why do half my friends have a terminal illness or something? And it was just a beauty in the way that they were, their persona. And there was something else about that I can't remember. So never mind.
I love that. And it was, and obviously for a reason, right? And it very well could have been for you just to help them journey on, and to help you too, to see the aspects and the beauty of the, the days when a person is coming to the end. And it's interesting because I have kind of the opposite aspect of that. I have seen a lot of people in my life that are coming close to the end, and now they're just like, yep, that just don't get it. That they still they don't they just don't get the meaning of life. And even when I was younger with older people, I mean, I want to say even like when I was 8 years old, I would look at an adult that was getting close to being able to pass on, and I would, tell my mom, I'd be like, they don't get the meaning of life. They're going to have to come back and do this over again because they don't get it. And so many people that I've known that are they come to the ending of their life, and it's like they have opportunities to make it right, and they just choose not to. And I go, oh, you guys are missing the point. It's like you're missing it. It's like you're gonna have to come back and do this again. It's like, don't you see it? And obviously they don't. And that's why, we have the past lives, and, the contracts, and, it wasn't a part of their journey on this life. But, yeah, a lot of family members, are probably already back, here. Cause it's like, you guys just don't get it. Why, the whole love and compassion and the authenticity and just loving one another. And it's just, yeah. So it's interesting. I'm happy that you've seen the more positive side of it.
Yeah. Well, I've had the opportunity to see, have relationships that were very traumatic as well. And so those relationships close up, and I kept saying, I kept kissing the same frog, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I had that opportunity, and that really showed me the other side. But now most of them have passed on; they've walked on, and it's interesting how. And in fact, yesterday I was just talking to a couple of them, and because why not?
That's cool. Yes. Yeah.
I'm talking about like, yeah. So what's happening with that? How did that happen like that? And I do think I'm going to say this, and I got this from Debbie Freebird, which I thought was really interesting. She's a really gifted medium, and she was talking about it, and she said that some people overplay their contract.
Interesting.
That was a big wake up for me. And I do feel like, and don't we all know someone in government that's overplaying their contract, perhaps? So,
right.
So that's another show. But people do overplay their contracts sometimes, and maybe sometimes we underplay it too. So,
well, yeah, because we were talking backstage about, well, I had mentioned to Terry backstage. I said, I know that I was a really shitty mother in another life. I know I've had dreams, and again, I just got validation. They're like, yeah, you were a crappy mom. And so I've come into this lifetime, and I was telling Terry, I've come in and I overcompensate. I overcompensate with my kids, and I really, as a mom, I overcompensate, probably way too much. And Terry mentioned backstage, she said, a little bit of that is control too, which you're absolutely absolutely right. But the whole overdoing the contract, I could very well be doing that in this lifetime.
Yeah, and I mentioned that more, not about what you do, but about what I do. I just want to make that clear, Kelly, because I feel like I've been there. I have really tried to help too much because I'm really good at it. And Annie said she overcompensates too sometimes, and it's a natural thing, I think, for an empath and a healer to want to overcompensate when we see somebody that's hurting, or we see somebody that needs something extra.
Yeah.
And if it's somebody that we love in particular, oh, forget about it. We're going to be right there.
Oh yeah. Bells
and,
on.
and that's still a hard thing that I'm learning. But and I'm quoting all these people, but that's something that really shining light through the back of somebody's heart chakra, because they are divine beings, and just sending them love just the way they are right now has been huge for me about healing those soul contracts. And that's a thing that I get up in the morning now, and I try to remember before I go to bed to do too. And it's kind of Ho'oponopono, but a little different take and a little bit easier for me to say, obviously, because I did not pronounce it well.
Oh, you did fabulous.
Okay.
You did fabulous.
Yeah.
Hi, Julie. Julie is in here, and for everybody that came in that I miss, Morella, hello, thank you for being here. Amy Warrior Princess, thank you. Debbie, thank you for being here. And another thing that and maybe some of you are aware of it, or not, but it's worth mentioning that birthmarks are kind of a key clue to that it could have been a wound in a past life. So if you have an ornate birthmark somewhere, it could have been possibly how you were taken out in another life. Bow and arrow, a gunshot. It's so pay attention to your birthmarks too, because there's a lot of messages in our birthmarks too.
Do you find that come up in your energy work when you're cutting cords with somebody and going into their energy? Do you find those past marks on their energy field or their energy bodies?
I do, and then when I go over the information with them, they will say, "Oh, I have a birthmark there," or this is something that has been really achy, or a pain that I've just never really known why I have it, because even aches and pains, we can carry those in from other lives, and we don't know why we have them, but they do come up when I'm cutting and clearing energy.
I bet. I can imagine. I can only imagine. It's a lot, and I know that like a lot of people think that they were Genghis Khan, or maybe that they were Cleopatra or something, or Marco Polo is a big one, right? But we interconnect through those lifetimes, and we learn from everybody's, because we're also interconnected, that we learn so much. And that's why I believe that so many times you'll get a past life reading, and you'll kind of share it with somebody else, and not that you were a walk-in necessarily, but that you interconnected to that life as Einstein or somebody. And another big one is the poet. What's his name in England?
Oh, I'm not going to think of it.
Romeo and Juliet. To be or not to be. Anyway, somebody here is going to tell us what it is. Anyway, yeah, must have gotten it in the belly. Yeah, and the belly, speaking of which, epigenetics. So it's also, or epigenetics are also influenced by our past lives, not just our ancestors.
Warrior Widow says, mine's on my ankle. I was probably drunk and fell over. I love it.
Everybody saying William Shakespeare. Thank you. Ding, ding, ding,
Yes,
ding.
yes, yes, yes.
I appreciate that, you guys. Oh, you've had arthritis since you were 12, Amy. Yeah. Yeah. And I do believe there's lifetimes that we come in to experience different physical things as well. So it's interesting. When you see people that experience dementia, so maybe they had a lifetime that they were very controlling. And they want to experience a lifetime of not having control and being taken care of. And there's a certain comfort in that beauty. My brother's going through that right now, and as hard as it is for the whole family, they have such a loving attitude about it, and it's such a beautiful thing to see him being cared for, and him actually kind of enjoying everybody, taking care of him. And though there's times, of course, that he wants to be as he was, but
Yeah.
but there's a beauty in it. There's a love in it that's so tender.
And you know what? That's amazing for him to be able to be at such peace with that, because some people, and this is just what I've heard, they'll either, be at peace and be fine with it, or some people will get really angry and have just not be so kind.
Yeah. It's hard.
Judith says, for me, it was congenital cataracts, loss of vision. Oh, Judith, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so sorry, Annie. Let's see. I have a really rare skin condition. Maureen says that only 1 in 100,000 people have. I'm the only one that has it in my family. Oh, Maureen. It's interesting, Maureen, because I do feel like the skin is so important right now. And I feel like there's some sort of a galactic reason about that, or something powered by the sun. They say that in 10 years' time, since they're working with epigenetics so much, and they're going in and that R thing, like the new vaccines that they built for Corona and all that stuff, there's so many different things that they're working on right now in the genes splicing too. Everything's going to change. Like, they're going to be able to reverse so many things within 10 years. And the medicine won't look anything like it does now. It won't look anything like it.
100%. Everything that Terry said. It's we just need to hang in there a little bit longer.
Yeah. So much love to you, Maureen.
Yes.
Everybody here. So I was going to talk just one more thing, if I can find my notes here.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, okay. As our frequency rises, the body you might have physical things that happen, like our ears ringing, a lot of us. You might have tingling in your crown chakra. The back of your head might buzz. You'll notice the palms of your hands even. So the crystalline energy is getting closer and closer. We've got the 3-eye atlas coming in, and that's a huge thing that's changing consciousness, I believe.
Yeah.
And then also the coherence of the planet is evolving. And it's quite an interesting thing, because I feel like a lot of us do this on planets. We all come together at the same time to raise the entire vibration of an entire planet at once. And that's a huge thing. And that's why so many people are coming to watch it, so many galactics. But so you might have vivid dreams. I mean, how many of you guys here, right?
Yes. At the dream show.
Oh my God, they're off the wall now. The dreams that we're having are out of this world. And we're coming in a higher order. Like, we're all remembering and knowing. So our subtle senses are changing. Not only do we have clairvoyance, but we have clairvoyance with a galactic or with an angel. So everything's moving up a step. So anyway, so it changes entirely. the earth and what it feels like. And it changes, that will change the entire universe, the multiverse, all of creation.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Amy Warrior Princess, she says she has ringing in her ears and her entire body vibrates. You're definitely going through an ascension and
Yeah.
an upgrade, and it can be a lot on your body. So really take care of yourself, Amy, and self-care, and listen to your body too. If it's needing rest or water or whatnot, be sure to be giving it the things that it needs.
Yeah. Also remember that if your body's vibrating, a lot of times it's our that ancient energy that's been stuck, right, from other lifetimes
Yeah.
or ancestors, or things that have happened in this lifetime that we have to release. And so you might feel your hand shake, or you might do some shaking.
Yes. That,
Anything you do with movement is
mhm.
huge right now. Really
Yeah,
helps.
shaking, because you do a lot of shaking, don't you, Terry?
I do.
Yeah, and that's great. Shaking, and um, y- you using chimes, bells, trying to clear that energy out, so it's just not, not getting the best of you. Would
Yeah.
would be beneficial too. But yeah, make sure you're getting definitely enough water, because when we're going through that, our body really needs to be hydrated.
Yeah, and Leona's talking about crystalline water is what travels through solar panels at such a crazy frequency and energy density. And there've been a lot of new studies on the crystalline water and the plasma of crystalline, and a lot of brand new things coming out right now, of them studying that in energy forms and the universe. Not just in solar panels on the planet. And so it's really quite interesting, because as that energy, as they're studying it, it just makes what all of us are saying as energy workers get, you know, um, yeah, duh. We knew that. We've been talking about that for 10
Yeah,
years. So it's pretty funny.
and she does do shaking all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you can't shake, you guys, it's okay. Do breath work. If you can't do breath work, it's okay. Imagine that you're doing either one, and your brain won't know the difference. Your brain doesn't know if you're on a vacation in Mexico at the beach and,
Right.
feeling the waves. You can just imagine it, and you'll get the same kind of calmness.
Yep.
So it's beautiful.
Many people are talking about ringing in their ears.
Yeah.
Anja, my ears have been ringing for 25 years, and I know somebody, Judith, said that I've had ringing in my whole life, 69 years.
So, yeah. So you guys are the ones that came here to change this planet. You already knew about it. Like you were already attuned to the change in the frequency, is what I believe.
I
But
do too.
you tell
I
me.
do too. Yep, I agree 100% that it's here to raise the vibration of the planet, and we're needing that so much right now. And so, you know, all of us. I mean, the light that we can shine, onto our planet right now is making a huge difference. You can see it, and the frequency is rising at such a rapid rate that it's no wonder we all are shaking and have ringing in our ears and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mary Starshine says, I wonder if there's a connection between Thri Atlas and activating the crystal skulls from Atlantis.
Yeah, it's entirely. I believe this is what I've seen, Mary, when I've been in there, and I haven't done a show on this yet. But that I know these. I know these people. I know these big things that come in like this. I've seen them since I was a child. They're filled with crystalline energy. So they might be all different colors of crystalline energy. The ones that I've worked with before have um, amethyst crystalline energy inside it. But you'll know that a lot of starships and people here that are ET experiences will keep this up. A lot of the inside of the spaceships are crystalline energy. So it's just really getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fluffy pancake. I love that. Pancakes are my jam. I love pancakes.
Oh my
Has
God,
anyone?
I'm dying for some lately.
Yeah, I absolutely I love them.
Yeah.
So I love your name. Has anyone heard of plasma vehicles before 2035?
Yeah.
Yes. I am seeing them. I'm getting that we're gonna have them. Um, I I talked about this in my 2025 predictions. I believe, or could have been on a show, but what they've showed me is it's almost like it's like a capsule, and it can fit like one person, and we'll be able to fly around in them. And then they've showed me that the capsule will actually expand where you can get multi people in there. And what I'm getting is eventually there won't be. I mean, there'll be airplanes, but there really won't be planes because we'll all have these vehicles that we can fly to any destination, short or far, individually, or we can, put as many people that we want to travel with in these capsules is what they've shown me.
Do you think those are orbs? Same thing.
Well, you know what? They almost look like little spaceships because
Okay.
they're like the TikTok or the Tic Tac.
Yeah.
They were kind of oblong like the Tic Tac,
Oh, wow.
and they were smaller, and then like not like that small, but for like an individual person, and then it would just grow out to as far as whatever people, however many people needed to travel.
Yeah.
Is what they showed me. So I do see something like that.
I often wonder if that's not what Sally sees on her property. Sauron's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of Sally, I haven't seen Sally in a while.
I know. I need to email her or text her.
I believe many of us to be lighthouses. I love that. Yes. Yes, 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 yes.
100%.
I love that.
Yeah.
Am I missing anything? Oh, somebody back to pancakes with honey and peanut butter. Oh, that sounds good. Sounds good.
So we always did pancakes with my mom was German, so we did pancakes with butter, and sugar, and then rolled them up like a crepe and ate them.
Ooh, yum.
Best.
Well, and it kind of reminds me of lefse, the Norwegian. Yeah.
Yeah. So good. Oh.
I had to put this up because Linda says she loves the Dream Show.
Linda,
we love you, Linda, and thank you for being a part of it.
Yeah. Thanks so much, honey.
Anything else I'm missing? Is there anything else that you have to share?
You guys are all right where you're supposed to be. It doesn't matter who you are in the future or the past. It's all about right now, because this awakening is the most important thing that you're doing in this lifetime. So just being centered and witnessing awareness, everything that's happening is the biggest thing that you can do. It doesn't matter what's behind us or in front of us. It matters.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. I agree. Well, I have a little mantra I can share with us for closing up today, and it's just a little short one. And so if anybody wants to reference it, later, feel free. Across all timelines, lifetimes, and dimensions, I release what no longer serves my soul. I reclaim my wisdom, my gifts, and my true power. I am whole, I am free, and I'm aligned. And so it is.
Wow. That's
There
amazing.
there it is. Terry, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I think this is a topic that a person could just talk and talk and talk about, because I mean there's so many layers to it, and it's so intriguing, and you know we're all learning, and so I appreciate you being here so very, very much. And I appreciate everybody in the chat. You know, happy Friday, and thank you for sharing part of your Friday with Terry and I. We are so grateful and humbled to have you all here. And so you guys have a fabulous weekend. What you have going on this weekend?
I have meditation at Yoga Patch Saturday morning, and then I have a show with Dr. Gail. I think it's the Solaris Healing Center.
Oh, nice.
Pretty sure.
Nice. Oh, that'll be fun.
What are you doing?
I have a show today at 3 with Marina, and tomorrow I have a recording at 3:00 with Helen, and then Sunday I'm gonna recharge.
No.
I'm gonna recharge my batteries.
Yeah, girl. Recharge. Yeah, I hear you.
Well, right. Thanks everybody. Thank you, Terry, and thank you everybody. And we will see you again in a couple weeks. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.